TBD, Justin Hunt, it's all happening. Remember this GIF? This one's raised so many questions over the years. That's definitely Biggie and Nas rocking on stage. That's definitely a man apparently caressing Godson's head and neck on stage too. Why? Just why? We never knew the answer before. Fortunately, we now have some insight, and it all goes back to the legendary Uncle Ralph McDaniels. This is TBD.
Static selector.
Now, if you haven't heard of Uncle Ralph McDaniels, punch yourself in the face. Just kidding. Uncle Ralph is the host and founder of Video Music Box. Video Music Box is believed to be the first daily music show to prominently feature hip hop. Check this out. Roll the clip out. That's the epitome of classic right there, 1983. The idea that there would be a daily music show that prominently featured rap in 1983 is kind of wild to think about in retrospect. Let's break it down. Rapper's Delight, the first major hip hop hit, that dropped in 1980. MTV's the first music video dedicated network. That didn't drop until 1981. So if you really think about it, there was barely music videos, let alone rap music videos, let alone people with access to TV networks and a knowledge of the burgeoning hip hop culture to contextualize it all for a show to exist in the first place. Enter Uncle Ralph. In the mid-1970s, Uncle Ralph McDaniels was a student at LaGuardia Community College in Queens, New York. He was also a DJ. Breakbeats are starting to take hold. The commercialization of hip-hop is taking place as well. Ralph was an intern at Manhattan Sterling Cable, which is one of the nation's first cable companies. I had a conversation with Uncle Ralph about this a few years back. Here's what he said. Nobody around me had ever seen cable before. I hadn't seen it before that time because nobody had cable here in New York, and I don't think anywhere else. I think that must have been around 1980, so this was the beginning of the whole cable television explosion. And that was what sparked my interest because I always wanted to combine the visuals with the audio. I was into the audio already from DJing and being around certain artists, but now I had an opportunity to get involved with the video side of it. Uncle Ralph's career began with WNYC TV Channel 31. He was a cable technician. Again, music videos had taken over the national consciousness, but hip-hop was in its nascent stages. It was in parts, it was in parties, it was on subways, but it was not on television. So Uncle Ralph needed a compelling pitch to be able to launch Video Music Box. We pitched it as a video show. People didn't know what that was because MTV existed, but nobody saw it because there was no cable. Nobody had cable. My cell was edutainment. We wanted to educate kids to what's going on in New York City, as well as entertain them with the videos. They're not going to listen unless you give them something they like. They're into music videos. The first episode of Video Music Box debuted on Channel 31 in December 1983, along with airing videos by rock artists, pop artists, R&B artists, as well as interviews and public service announcements imploring kids to stay off drugs. Only a handful of hip-hop acts had actual music videos. The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and Problems of the World Today by the Fearless Four were the first official rap videos broadcast on Video Music Box. Those two were great songs that had a message coming across, and that was the vibe. At that time, it was like you gotta say something to change the world with what you're saying. There were party songs going on, but we didn't have party videos until the Fat Boys and Run DMC. To supplement the lack of videos in hip-hop, Ralph borrowed a camera from the station, took it out to the parties, filmed all the concerts firsthand, like Soul Train, but ghetto style. That's a quote. They collected all kinds of classic hip-hop moments like this one from 1992 with Common, back when he was Common Sense.
What up, kid? Common Sense in the house. Introduce yourself. Ready to get it open. We gonna catch back.
Or this clip from the 1985 Fresh Fest press conference. Jesus. Or this clip, which turned into this now classic meme of Nasty Nas. Ak.
I want the riches. Money.
Here's how Uncle Ralph explained it to Mass Appeal this week. It was a birthday party for Miss Jones in 1994. I want to say it was at the Country Club on 86th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. What happened was some champagne or something flew. There was a bottle of champagne kind of floating around amongst, 20 people. It probably was Nas who brought the champagne and gave it to these guys when he was getting ready to perform. And whatever happened, the shit spilled and went at Nas. Somebody thought somebody threw something at Nas at first, and when Nas turned around, he was like, that hand that comes in is Killer B, one of Nas's hype men along with Wiz. I guess he saw the drink hit Nas and he was the closest to him when it happened, so he's wiping the liquid, champagne or water, off of his face. So there's that, one of the most classic memes explained, and it all goes back to the legendary Uncle Ralph McDaniels. I like that explanation a whole lot more than the way that meme looked with the words Nas lost on it. The point is this, the internet remains undefeated. We knew that. But along with that, there's a massive shift in media taking place all around us, hip-hop media included. Complex announced that it's closing its print publication and cutting editorial positions as it embarks on a rapid expansion of premium video creation across its network. MTV recently announced layoffs. Its long-form experiment's now over. It's going all in on video as well. The New York Times laid off 100 people as it prepares for its digital and video-oriented future. If you haven't noticed, video is more important than ever, more part of our daily lives. Outlets are putting a premium on visual content. The environment is more polarized than ever. It seems like everything is either left or right or fake, or reading is optional, or the president's retweeting GIFs of him wrestling with CNN. It seems like media is a dirty word most of the time, as if there's more trust in the individual than the institution. In a sense, it feels like Uncle Ralph McDaniels had the formula 30 plus years ago. I mean, here's a guy who fell in love with the culture and covered it most of his life. Every time I turn on one of my favorite YouTube channels and I see concert footage, or I see some inspiring journalist interviewing some inspiring artists, or I see someone with a microphone in front of a crowd of people and handing it to someone and asking them who they want to give a shout out to. Yes, you need to thank Uncle Ralph McDaniels for the term shout out as well. But anytime I see any of those things, I'm immediately reminded of Video Music Box. In a sense, we're all his kids. He's hip-hop's first true trusted source. So much so that we have to hit him up and ask him to explain some of these gifts for us. That's how long he's been doing it. That's how well he's been doing it. And he's been doing it the right way for 3 decades plus. How many of us can say the same? How many of us will be able to say the same 3 decades from now? I don't have the answers to these questions. Another Saturday, another TBD. Thank you guys for rocking with us. The channel is rocking, and it's all because of your support. We appreciate you sincerely. This is a bit of a different piece. It's more of a look into history. I just think it's phenomenal that we had to go find one of the true icons of hip hop and hip hop media to explain a GIF. I'm pretty sure when Uncle Ralph started his career, he didn't think he'd be explaining GIFs. Man, how time changes. Also, for you guys, what type of conversations do you guys want to see happen on this channel? We know TBD's here. We know we have the discussions with myself and Jude. We have some new content that's going to be rolling out here, and we have a whole slate of content that's going to be rolling out on Ambrosia for Heads, so make sure you follow that channel as well. But what do you guys want to see more of? Let us know in the community section below. Also, what are you guys excited for the second half of the year on the music tip? Let us know that as well. Like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell. Follow at The Company Man on everything. This is just a glimpse into the paradigm shift. TBD.
Oh, what's up? It's Video Music Box. Look in the sky and wonder why most MCs' alibis won't comply with my style of rhyme or rhyming or rap. It's not a trap, my rhyme just snap.